This particular gun is considered the best AEG for its price tag, and in this review, we're going to go over the features of the gun and find out if it can really live up to its name. This is the review of the G&G GR15 Raider CQB. Now the box really isn't anything special. It's just a green box with the G&G Armament logo on the front and a nice shiny picture of the gun on the right side. But it doesn't matter what's on the outside, it's what's on the inside that counts. The first thing you're going to see when you open the box is the manual, which just shows you basic things like how to load the magazine and how to put in the battery. And it also shows a parts explosion on the back side, which is pretty nice. Next is your standard cleaning and unjamming rod for cleaning your barrel and whatnot. And then you're going to find a pack of 1000 G&G 0.2 gram BBs, which I highly suggest you use because this is one of the only times you'll get BBs with a gun that you can actually use. The next thing you're going to get is your 450 round high capacity magazine, complete with some stamped trades, which I personally filled in myself with a white paint marker. And then of course you're going to get your gun, but the gun's not going to come with all the fancy accessories that I put on mine. It's going to be a lot more plain and boring than that. It's going to end up actually looking a lot more like the picture on the box, only with an orange flash hider instead of a black one. Starting at the front of the gun, since I don't have the orange flash hider on mine, underneath it you're going to find 14mm negative threads, which can be used to mount mock suppressors or barrel extensions if you'd like. The gun comes standard with a metal, one-piece outer barrel with the triangle sight built into it, and no, you can't take it off. You're kind of stuck with it unless you buy a new barrel. Then you got your sling mount and a full metal rail system that has rails on both the top, bottom, left, and right side. The top rail of the gun extends from the triangle sight all the way to the back of the receiver. I personally really like this feature because it allows you to mount optics and accessories anywhere in the top rail without having any complications. The receiver is made out of polymer, which I prefer over a metal one, because it's just as strong and it keeps the weight down. Laser etched onto the receiver is 6mm pellet AEG semi-auto system and a G&G logo. Now the bolt catch on the gun is metal, but it doesn't do anything. It's pretty much just for looks. And the trigger on the gun is also metal, and it has a very smooth trigger pull. The selector switch on the gun is also metal, but it's not ambidextrous. But just listen to how well this thing clicks into place. The pistol grip on the gun is made out of polymer and is extremely ergonomic. It feels great when you're firing it, and it has a really nice texture to it. And then of course on the bottom of the pistol grip is your motor adjustment plate. On the opposite side of the gun is where the hop-up is accessed. Just simply pull back on the charging handle and it reveals your hop-up. Turn it to the right for more hop-up and turn it to the left for less hop-up. On the back of the receiver, on the left side, there is a sling mount, but sadly this sling mount cannot be moved to the other side for left-handed shooters. The stock of the gun is polymer and can be retracted to 6 different positions. This is also where the battery is held. To install the battery, just simply pull down on the 2 tabs on the rubber butt plate at the bottom. Now there's this little plastic piece that you can use to help hold the battery in place, but I don't really use it. Once you've got the butt pad off of the stock, you can go ahead and collapse the stock all the way. Then you can take your battery, make sure you got all your wires untangled just to make things a lot easier. Then you can go ahead and put your battery into the stock. Once you've got that in, you can go ahead and take your 2 connectors, connect them together, and then fully extend your stock all the way. After you've done that, go ahead and cram all your wires down into the stock. This looks pretty difficult, but I'm trying to do this without getting my face in the way of the camera. It's a lot easier than it looks. Then go ahead and take the plastic cap, put it back over the stock, and then take your rubber butt pad and push that back into its slot. Then, after that, you can collapse the stock. I haven't really been able to get it past the second position, but that really doesn't matter because that's where I like it. Now that you got your battery in, you can go ahead and load in the magazine and go shoot it. Once you're done shooting, you can go ahead and push in the forward assist to decompress the spring. Now as far as magazine compatibility goes, I have these King Arms 120 round plastic mid caps, and I've had really good luck with feeding, and they fit really well into the gun. And they also fall right out of it, which is perfect because that's the way I like my magazines. And when you put them in, there's also not a whole lot of wobble to them either. Now we move on to the part of the video that really matters, the part where I tell you all the issues that I've had with this gun. But thankfully, there haven't really been too many issues with this one. I've only had really two major issues, and those have pretty much been barrel wobble and the rail system comes a little bit loose. That's originally fixed just by tightening a couple screws, but I had to go to some extreme measures because that still wasn't working. When I took it apart, I found that the piece that holds everything together got bent, so I had to kind of go use some Gorilla Glue to hold things together, if you can see what I mean. Now I'm not going to go ahead and say that all these guns are going to have this exact same problem. This probably happened to me because I hit it on something when I was playing, but hopefully this wasn't just made this way because that would kind of not make me very happy. Now overall, this gun's pretty good for the price that it comes with, but if I could, would I buy it again? I probably wouldn't, just because there's a lot of things to it that I want to upgrade, and I'd rather have a gun that I don't have to upgrade quite as much.